My name is Louie Winters. I'm 23 years old, and for the first time in my life, I'm living on my own. This 2-bed, 1-bath apartment promised to be everything I needed. And right now, I need it a lot. So it seemed like the perfect fit, right? I mean, it's not like I need more than a place to sleep and eat. There should be plenty for just one person, even for one with as many hobbies as myself. I'm an aspiring author, and after many sleepless nights, the first draft of my novel is ready for the second draft. I dabble in a bit of cooking. I try to, at least. And I'm a somewhat hopeless romantic. No luck with anyone yet, but who knows, maybe this new place could be my good luck charm. Maybe everything is normal and alright, and maybe... Oh, who am I kidding? My first hour here, and there's already a pulsing, colorful light coming from underneath the closet door. It shook violently, hinges threatening to come off of the force of whatever was behind it wasn't allowed out. I didn't know what to do, but I did know that a door flying off its hinges would probably cost me my deposit and get me kicked out on the first day. So I opened the door, and the force behind it found a new target, me. I was knocked off my feet by something I can only vaguely describe. It was like wind without the air, like a magnet that was repelling me. I was pinned to the floor, now unwillingly in the front row seat to the very start of the chaos. The lights swirled in circles in the center of the small space. All the clothes I had just hung up in a heap on the ground. They spun faster, gathering together, tightening with each turn, until the center was so bright it was blinding. I turned away until the pressure was lifted and I was able to stand up. And in the closet was someone who looked a startling amount like me. He looked more shaken by the whole ordeal than I did, hair spiked in every direction and deep bags under his eyelids, and equally as dumbstruck by what just occurred. Neither of us made a sound as we stood up. If I'm being honest, we sort of just stared at each other in the hallway for a half hour. When we finally did move, it was because he asked to use the bathroom. I showed him where it was and went to my room to freak out in private. Who was this guy? What was happening? I sat at the edge of the bed and looked out the window. The sky was still blue. Leaves were still falling off the trees. The bustle of the city droned on below. Everything was normal out there. This blip in the universe seemed to be contained in my apartment, and I couldn't decide if that was a good or bad thing. The other guy came out of the bathroom and found me in my room. He stared out the window for a good moment and looked like he was about to cry with joy at the sight of it. Then he looked back to me and his expression dropped. Ouch. He took a seat on one of the boxes I had yet to unpack. I think I should introduce myself, right? His voice was shaky and uncertain. I gave him a slight nod. He took in a breath. My name is Louie Winters. I have no idea how I got here, and I'm guessing you don't either? Louie Winters? The shock must have been obvious. He flinched as I covered my face with my palms. This can't be real, I muttered to myself. I'm sorry? I uncovered my face. My name is Louie Winters. Why are you in my house? His eyes widened and he sputtered as he tried to explain his side of the story. My head was still reeling. I don't think I'm meant to be here. I mean, obviously not, right? I mean, I was in my own apartment, and it looks a lot like this one. It looked exactly like this when I moved in, actually. But, long story short, the apocalypse happened, and I was locked inside for months, and I fell asleep for the first time in days, and now I'm here? His explanation left me with more questions than answers, but something told me he wouldn't know how to answer any of them if I asked. I looked down the hallway to the closet again. It seemed to be back to normal. The only sign anything had happened at all was the clothes still on the ground. If I hadn't seen what had happened, I would have called this guy crazy, kicked him out, and then moved on with my life. And it would have been so much easier. But I saw what happened, and calling him crazy would be calling myself crazy. And I wasn't crazy. I knew that much. So now, what do I do? He looked at me, probably asking himself the same question. I couldn't just throw him out. I mean, I could, but I didn't think that'd be fair. It's not like I didn't have the space. I did have a spare room after all. I stood up and sighed. Okay, I think I believe you, since I can't think of anything else to explain what just happened. You can stay here, but you have to help out with the work. Deal? He smiled and stood up. Deal. We shook on it, and the rest of the day was spent bringing up my boxes from the rental truck outside. Honestly, I'm pretty glad he showed up before I had to bring the couch upstairs. But there was still some part of me that was hoping I'd knock myself out at some point, and when I came to, none of this would have ever happened. But the day ended quickly, and the peaks I ordered lasted half as long as I had planned. I lay down to sleep in my bed, but not without hearing snoring from my couch. If things are the same in the morning, I think I can officially say my life has been changed forever. But that was a problem for tomorrow's me. So today, I fell asleep.